You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button. Day 5 of fall camp for LSU football. Brian Kelly allowed the media in for about a half an hour or so at the end of practice. And I was there. Love to tell you what we saw. If you're keeping track at home, they opened up fall camp Wednesday. So they practiced Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday was an off day. They went and volunteered at the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. And then they were back at it on Monday. They continue to extend the length of practice. And normally when we've gotten just a piece of practice, it's been at the beginning, when mostly we're watching individual drills indoors. I actually prefer what they allowed us to do today, which was come at the end of practice to watch the final half hour or so. So we got to see a 7-on-7 period and 11-on-11 period, situational 11-on-11 work, and some other interesting drills like the pass rush drill with the offensive defensive line. So I'll run through, going to probably take a couple of segments here because what I want to do is kind of give you some observations first in this first segment. Then in the second segment, what I'll do is I'll give you the play-by-play of the 11-on-11. I'll start with maybe what was sort of newsy. What was newsy is that Aaron Anderson still not there. He practiced the first day. He has not practiced since. He was there on Saturday just in his jersey observing. I did not see him today. It's not to say he was not out there. I'm just saying I did not see him today in our allotted time. But I did ask Brian Kelly after practice for an update on Aaron Anderson. Here's what he said.
Today he felt really good. We're going to be very careful with him. He was great this summer in his training. Never missed a day. Probably a little bit of too much work in that sense, where he had some inflammation in the knee. We took an MRI, a bone scan. Everything looks really good. Now it's about just getting him back moving. So he'll do some agility and some movement tomorrow with the hope that Wednesday we've got him back out on the field.
So that's fantastic news. Nothing serious. They've done all the scans, all good. They hope to get him moving on Tuesday and back at practice on Wednesday. We'll see. This week they practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before an off day on Thursday. They'll practice Friday, and BK told us Saturday will be a scrimmage day. So whatever availability they give us, I will be there, and we'll give you practice reports. So the update there on Aaron Anderson. I don't want to go any further without mentioning the day Harold Perkins had. And really the camp Harold Perkins has been having. Today, there were 3 very notable plays. In 7-on-7, he intercepted Garrett Nussmeier. In 11-on-11, they ran a screen pass where Perkins diagnosed it beautifully, shed the blocker, and then made the tackle. It was a tight end screen to Bauer Sharp in the flat, and then touched Bauer Sharp for a tackle for loss. And then he also blitzed in the 11-on-11 and got pressure on Nussmeier, and Nussmeier just fired it into the dirt to avoid a sack. I'm not trying to oversell it, but every time we're out there, Harold Perkins does something significant. And that shouldn't be surprising because we've all seen him do it before. It's just a matter of him being healthy and in the right spot. And I love seeing Harold Perkins play in space because what I just described for you is everything he can do well. He can blitz, he can tackle in space, he can turn and cover. Check, check, check. He's doing them all without any limitation, and it's been really fun to watch. Brian Kelly gave an update on Perkins.
Yeah, I think it's a familiar role for him, one that now he has a complete knowledge of the linebacker position. He's not just a guy out there running around making plays. He's so much more intentional. He knows the game. He knows the nuances of it. The pick that he got in 7-on-7, he baited, Nussmeier into it. Just those little things, right, are experiential kind of plays that he's making. But physically, he's been great, taking care of himself. Recovery day, he's a beast. He just knows that, as I said, this is his year. And all of those things have allowed him to be really, really focused and not distracted.
So Harold Perkins has been really good and looks poised for a fantastic senior year. Just keep it up there with number 7 playing the star position. So when we went outside, the first thing we saw on the main field, the ones were running a 7-on-7. And then on the far field, it was the offensive defensive line pass rush drill. On Saturday, I went to the far field to watch the pass rush drill. Today, I kind of stood between them to keep an eye on both. I could chart the pass rush and then also keep an eye on 7-on-7. If you're not familiar with the pass rush drill, I'll just explain it very quickly. The first team offensive line, the first team defensive line line up against each other, but it's a one-on-one. The reason that they have the entire offensive line out there is to prevent the defender from just looping around into space where there's nobody. So, for example, the first string offensive line will line up, and then it'll be Tyree Adams against, in this case, it was Gabe Relaford. And they'd go one-on-one. And then it would be DJ Chester against, in this case, Don McKinley. Braylon Moore went against Bernard Gooden. Josh Thompson went against Ahmad Bro, and then Weston Davis went against Jack Pyburn, one-on-one. And they do 2 reps consecutively. So the ones would do 10 reps. Y'all, today, the only rep the defense won, the only rep was Dominic McKinley bull rushed DJ Chester and put him on his back. And by the way, DJ Chester's a huge man. But that's the only rep the defense won. Tyree Adams beat Gabe Relaford. Braylon Moore stonewalled Bernard Gooden twice. By the way, Braylon Moore is so, oh my God. Listen, this isn't a Glory Days thing, but I did that drill when I was younger and played in high school. I get it's high school. The point is, I know what it's like to do that drill. And some guys are just awesome at it. Like Will Campbell never lost a rep. I think in 3 years, never lost a rep in that drill. They should honestly rename the drill the Kalaj Cobbins drill, because Kalaj Cobbins, no one can stop it. Kalaj Cobbins abused Bo Bordelon today twice. But you can just see how good Braylon Moore is at snapping the ball, getting his hands up, engaging, and keeping the defender off him. That is not an easy thing to do because you have to make sure you execute the snap first and then get your hands up. It's a very technical thing to do, and he is really good at it. I guess my takeaway from this is I think the talent is there on the offensive line. They have 7 really talented guys, maybe 8, that I think are talented enough. For example, Karis Kern, the true freshman. Karis Kern took 2 reps against Patrick Payton today. Won both reps. That's a true freshman against a 5th-year senior. That's incredible. So you've got talent. What's interesting is the offense wins those one-on-one drills. But when they go to the team period, the defense and the pass rush kind of overwhelms the offensive line. And what that tells me is you got really talented guys that are still trying to figure out how to play as one. So over these next 3 weeks of camp before you get into game week for Clemson, or 4 weeks before the game, it is going to be so imperative that those guys figure out how to play as one, because that group is talented enough. You've got Weston Davis stonewalling Jack Pyburn. You've got Tyree Adams winning reps against Gabe Relaford. You've got Braylon Moore keeping Bernard Gooden at arm's length. They're good enough. They're plenty good enough. They just got to play as one. The other big observation today, I thought the defensive backs did a really good job covering in 7-on-7 and in the team period. But the offense keeps finding a way to make big plays. Chris Hilton had about a 30-yard reception where Nuss dropped it in the bucket. There was a hard count, quick snap where Nuss found Trey'Dez Green for about 25 yards, where he high pointed the ball, toe tap, beautiful catch. Caden Durham ripped off about a 60-yard touchdown run during 11-on-11. The defense does really well, but the offense explosive plays are there, which is encouraging because we know the offense has that. But remember, that was something that was a bugaboo a year ago for the defense, was not allowing the big explosive play. That's something they're going to have to iron out here as they move forward.
We tackle tomorrow. So our 6th practice, they allow you to tackle by NCAA rules. Then you have to be a percentage of all your practices have to meet a criteria. So our Saturdays will be pretty much, our night Saturdays will be pretty much scrimmages. And then we go on Wednesday, which will be a 2-hour practice will be the first time we get 2 hours of exposure. And, that will be much more situational work. Thursday, they have a recovery day, and then we go Friday leading into a scrimmage on Saturday.
By the way, if you want the full LSU practice report, it's always free at louisianasports.net. Hunt and I are going out there, and we're sort of trying to divide and conquer. So he's taking his notes, I'm taking mine. We're getting two pairs of eyes on everything, combining our notes, and it's up there for free at louisianasports.net if you want to get it. Again, always free, everything, louisianasports.net. If you're a Hoodad, of course, Ross Jackson's done an incredible job with his practice reports as well. Always free, no paywalls, no freemium, no article limits. It's just free, like for real free. It's all there at louisianasports.net. Just do us a favor. You see it on Twitter, retweet it, share it on Facebook. Text it to a friend who loves LSU or the Saints. Let them know. Got all your coverage there for free at louisianasports.net. So after the 7-on-7 period and the offensive-defensive line pass rush drill, LSU on Monday went to an 11-on-11 period. And similar to Saturday, this was it was a situational period. So it's not like a scrimmage where you start at the 20 or the 30 and it's just you're running a series. It's situational. So 2nd and 10, 2nd and 4, 3rd and 5, whatever it is. So basically, Joe Sloan is calling plays for that situation. But it is still 11-on-11, and they've got helmets and shoulder pads, and they're out there going after it. So on Monday, the ones went out there and ran 6 plays. It was interesting because this is the second practice in a row now where we've seen an odd front. So very clearly, LSU has their pass rush front defensively, and today the ones across that defensive front initially, left to right, were Gabe Relaford, Jack Pyburn at tackle, Bernard Gooden at the other tackle, and then Kalaj Cobbins at end. And they are rotating freely. The only ones that were locked into their spots were West Weeks, Whit Weeks, and Harold Perkins. Corners and safeties rotated a bunch. So, like, when they were at 7-on-7, Tamarcus Cooley and A.J. Halsey were the ones. When they went to the 11-on-11 period, it was Jordan Gilbert and Deshaun Spears who were back there. So, or excuse me, it was Javen Toviano. But anyway, they'd run a play or 2 plays, and then it would be like wholesale changes. So the defense, we've talked about it. Maybe my biggest takeaway of camp so far is the depth defensively. You have nearly, like I was looking at on Saturday, I was looking at Saturday's second team, and I tallied up, I believe, 197 games played among the guys that were with the second defense on Saturday. When you're talking about Patrick Payton and Jamari Butler and Jacobian Guillory and Bernard Gooden and A.J. Halsey and Tamarcus Cooley and Jakeem Jackson, like when you look at the twos, it's like the depth is incredible because they're all dudes that have played and started major football. So that's going to be a giant strength of the defense is the depth and the ability to rotate, stay fresh without a real drop-off. So the ones go out there. First down, little screen pass to Berrien Brown. Shocker, they throw him the ball every practice. Get used to hearing it. Number 6 is going to get a lot of targets, and he's really been the beneficiary of Aaron Anderson's absence. Berrien Brown's getting more and more targets here. So screen pass to Berrien Brown. Second play they run, beautiful play where Nuss sort of Tetris-pieced his way through pressure, stepped up in the pocket, hit Chris Hilton over the middle for about a 10, 12-yard gain. Third play, they ran a tight end screen to Trey'Dez Green. Just Nuss popped up, threw it to the left sideline, and went right through Trey'Dez's hands. Joe Sloan screamed, "Come on, Trey'Dez!" A play he's got to make. It wasn't a great ball by Nuss. It was up and behind him, but it's still a play you expect Trey'Dez Green to make. The defense was right on him. He would have gone anywhere, but you still expect him to make the catch. Fourth play was a gorgeous route and a gorgeous pass. Xavier Thomas on the left side ran a stop route, came back toward the line of scrimmage. Nuss threw an absolute dart, hit him right in the 0 on the sideline. They've run that play pretty consistently with a lot of success, and not that dissimilar from the route Xavier was running on the play at Texas A&M where Nuss threw the interception. If you go back and watch the play, Xavier was on the sideline, that left sideline coming back toward Nuss, but Nuss threw a beautiful ball. The fifth play was a run by Caden Durham, stuff by Bernard Gooden, and I'm telling you, y'all, if you have not taken a gander at the roster, just remember 88. Bernard Gooden is the South Florida transfer. He's not much to look at. He's 6'1", 268 on the roster. He wears number 88, but I'm telling you, they can't block him. or Josh Thompson can't block him. And Josh Thompson's a good player. Like, he's not having trouble with anybody else. It's just when 88 is lined up on 56, 88 keeps making plays. He has been so impressive on the interior, Bernard Gooden has. He came up with a big run stuff there. And then on the 6th play, they ran a draw. It was a counter to Caden Durham. He had a nice gain to the right side. The 2s go in there. They run a screen pass to Xavier Thomas. The 2nd play, they ran a deep ball, post route to Berrien Brown down the right sideline, and Michael Van Buren threw it about 5 yards out of bounds. If I have one big takeaway from Michael Van Buren right now, he is not accurate. He's not a super big guy. He's athletic. He's got a good arm. Accuracy is a problem right now for Michael Van Buren. And hopefully, knock on Formica, we never have to find out in a meaningful way this year. But be it in a backup role this year or competing for a starting job next year, the thing Michael Van Buren has to work on is his accuracy. It's his single biggest issue right now. Caleb Jackson on the 3rd play, they ran it with Caleb Jackson. He was stuffed by Dom McKinley. And then the 4th play, they ran a crossing route to Kyle Parker, and it was down around the 10 or 15-yard line, and Michael Van Buren airmailed it. I mean, he airmailed it into the end zone where nobody was. It's just, that's a problem. It's like, you don't have to know football to go out there and go, that's not where you're supposed to throw it. So, good athlete, good arm, all that stuff. The accuracy is a problem he's got to work on. But if you remember, that was the knock on Jaden Daniels when he showed up here. Joe Sloan went to work with him, and he became the most accurate thrower in football. So, time to get there, but not good right now. The 1s went back out there. First play, this was when they ran the tight end screen to Bauer Sharp, and Harold Perkins shed his block, TFL. Perkins was awesome today. West Weeks was guarding Trey'Dez Green on a middle crossing route. West came up with a big pass breakup. Beautiful play defensively by the senior. The biggest play running the ball, Caden Durham had about a 60-yard touchdown run on a zone read. Off the left side. They've done that twice now. They did it Saturday and again today. Both runs have gone to the left side behind Tyree Adams and DJ Chester. And both times they've blocked it perfectly and they've executed. And when Caden Durham hits that crease, he's got another gear. So that's exciting to see. But I also think back at the beginning of last year, and really the big play in the run game was the problem for LSU defensively. And you've seen it rear its ugly head here. So it's one of those things where, are you excited about Durham ripping off a 60-yard touchdown run, or are you holding your breath again because the defense was susceptible to big plays in the running game a year ago? The 4th play in that 2nd series for the 1s, Harold Perkins came on a blitz, pressured Nuss. Nuss just threw it in the dirt. 5th play, the offense has done this to the defense every team period we've seen so far. They hard count, defense jumps, free play. The first day of practice, they hit Berrien Brown for a touchdown. On Saturday, they hard counted the defense. Jumped, free play. They hit Chris Hilton down the right sideline. Today, hard count, defense jumps, free play down the right sideline. They went to Trey'Dez Green on Jordan Gilbert. Trey'Dez high-pointed the ball, came down toe tap for about a 25-yard gain. Beautiful play by Trey'Dez. By the way, he needed the toe tap because if he'd come down flat-footed, he would have been out of bounds. So just great body control for a giant man. And then not surprising, right? I mean, it's why he's a basketball player and he's as athletic as he is. And then the last play for the 1s, this was the throw of the day by Nuss. Chris Hilton on the left side. Nuss just 30 yards, dropped it in a bucket over his shoulder right on the sideline. Cortez Hankton was running downfield, throwing his hands in the air. It was awesome. Just beautiful, man. Nuss and Hilton have that rapport, which is so fun to watch. The 2s went back out for the final 4 snaps. They ran a shovel pass to Harlem Berry, and Devon Keys filled it for a stuff. Might have been a TFL. The 2nd play, A.J. Halsey from his safety spot came up. They tried a shallow route to Xavier Thomas. Halsey hit him, dislodged the ball. Halsey's going to start. He's 13. I don't think it's a stretch to say 13 is their best safety right now. Halsey, who came in from Houston. The 3rd play was a low snap. They handed it off to Juwan Johnson, and then Tylen Singleton got a TFL. That's another guy to keep in mind. Tylen Singleton on Saturday got some reps with the 1s at linebacker in place of Devon Keys when Whit Weeks wasn't out there. So it was West and Tylen Singleton, the first linebackers on Saturday. I'm not saying that's how it's going to be. I'm just saying 46 has taken a lot of strides this year, and they like him a lot. And every time they put him on the field, he keeps making plays. And then the final play was Van Buren was pressured, and he just scrambled for about a 3-4 yard gain up the middle. So I would tell you my big takeaways are when they go individual, it really favors the offense. When they go deep, when they go 11 on 11, it feels like the defense has the upper hand for the majority of the plays, but the offense has been able to pop some big plays, both in the passing game and the running game. Typically, the defense is ahead of the offense at this part of camp. The past few years, that just hasn't been the case because the defense is really bad. And the offense, especially in 23, was just lapping the defense. And clearly we saw that manifest on Saturdays. This is one of those where it feels like I know what that offense is. Like, I know Garrett Nussmeier's good. I know those receivers are good. I know Caden Durham's good. I know they got starters on the offensive line that are good. So when that defense is making plays, I look at that as validation of the talent they have on defense. That these guys are coming together and are going to be much improved from a year ago. The thing that I think is undeniable, they're loaded. They've got talent all over the field at every level. It's really just a matter. It's an embarrassment of riches at receiver. The defensive front seven is. I'm just telling you, Patrick Payton's out there running with the twos. It's ridiculous the amount of depth and talent they have. They just got to bring it all together. It's a massive chore week one going to Clemson. I know all that, but this team, talent-wise, has talent and depth everywhere. So, see if they can bring it all together and put it together for a good season. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.